Hey guys, it's Calvin. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're enjoying some football or real football if you're over on the other side of the pond on this pleasant day. Unfortunately, we all have to go back to work or school tomorrow, I guess. Every time I say it's Calvin here, I'm always thinking to myself, well, you guys know that Calvin's not my real name, right? So you can feel free to call me Adam if we're ever interacting. I am not actually C. Nanners. That is a myth. It is not true. He is several orders of magnitude better at everything than I am, but anyways, so I am doing something that I think is a little bit ballsy here. I am bringing you a game, Black Ops. It's Domination on Havana. I am using probably the bitchiest class in Black Ops. I have a Silenced Famas, Sleight of Hand Pro, Ghost Pro, and Hacker Pro. I played this game a long time ago, back early when the game, I was max rank first prestige. I stopped there and didn't prestige again for almost 3 months. And back when the game first came out and people weren't sitting in corners with Ghost all the time, I tended to use it a little bit more than I do now. Now, I have, whatever the 10 custom classes, I have one with Ghost. I haven't even bothered to get Ghost Pro in it, and I haven't prestiged in months because I just can't be bothered. I hate the way people play with it. However, conversation I was having with a good friend of mine yesterday, Nana Hob, while I was playing Black Ops. He and I were talking about Ghost and counter UAV. Well, it went counter UAV, cold-blooded, Ghost, and now it will be Assassin in Modern Warfare 3. And we got to talking about what is referred to as a sensory deprivation perk. So Ninja, or Dead Silence, is a sensory deprivation perk, right? It eliminates the sound of your footsteps. And that deprives someone of a sense, obviously, and that's the sense of sound. Ghost is a sensory deprivation perk in that it removes theoretically the sense of sight, at least the sense of sight on the minimap, and the no red name and the crosshairs when you target someone, again, is another form of sensory deprivation there. So we got to talking about the evolution of those perks and how they've changed throughout the history of Call of Duty, and how they've become, how any Ghost type of perk has become the literal whipping boy of the community, especially the hardcore community. And I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about why that is, the balance considerations in those perks, and and what I think about it. And the reason I'm using this game, like I said, the bitchiest game I could possibly find. First of all, it's a good game and I had fun playing it. But second of all, I'm playing, for the most part, what I consider cautiously aggressive, in that my first instinct is to push forward. I'm in their spawn many times, probably at least half the game I've spent in their spawn or spawn trapping them, yet I'm also using Ghost Pro. And, you've probably heard me say many times, please don't use Ghost Pro in camp. If you use Ghost or Ghost Pro and you rush, or you're playing aggressively, more power to you. It's in the game, it's part of the game, it's a viable tactic, and if you're doing it the right way, I applaud you. If you're sitting in a corner, laying in a dark shadow with Ghost, please don't talk to me. We're probably not going to have the same views on video games. Now, right here, one note on the video, the reason I sit here for 30 seconds is because I actually could hear a guy outside wandering around looking for me, and I'm like, I'm one off my chopper gunner, I'm just not fucking moving. And I'm not going to apologize to you guys. If I'm one off a chopper gunner or dogs or a blackbird, I'm probably going to be really careful for a minute or so. So forgive me camping here, let's move on to the discussion. No one in Call of Duty 4 or World at War or Modern Warfare 2, to my recollection, really complained about counter UAV and then cold-blooded. I had some guys that I knew and played with. They weren't really my group of friends, and we weren't really particularly close, but they were huge advocates of cold-blooded in Modern Warfare 2, and actually, it served them very well. I mean, they destroyed air support almost as soon as it got to the map, and ended up being a real viable way for them to play. But I didn't think they were at all able to play without the crutch, if that makes any sense. So if someone kept them consistently countered, I didn't ever feel like they really knew what to do. They were just completely overwhelmed, it seemed like, if you robbed them of the one advantage of tactical superiority that they had. And I think that gets a little bit to the point, and that is, what type of advantage does that offer you? What are you getting from using counter UAV or cold blood, right? You're gaining the ability not to be seen when someone calls in a UAV, obviously. And you're getting the ability for your name not to show up on the crosshairs when you're targeted. And now in Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, you're also gaining the ability to not be targeted by enemy kill streaks, and a few other things. In Modern Warfare 3, you're going to be immune to counter UAV and I believe EMP, which I think is absolutely absurd, but that's another conversation. So the bottom line is, in Call of Duty 4, World at War, and Modern Warfare 2, Ghost Cold-Blooded had a direct counter. It was stopping power. It was the same tier as stopping powder. No, not stopping powder. Stopping power. Excuse me. All right. It was in the same tier as stopping power. So you had to give up the ability to kill someone one shot faster, which makes a huge friggin' difference in a game this lethal, in order to have that advantage of sensory deprivation. As a result, you didn't really see a lot of people use it. I mean, it was there, but I would say probably less than, for the sake of argument, less than 10% of the people playing used it. After Black Ops came out and everybody decided to use Ghost, you see a lot more people using Cold-Blooded in Modern Warfare 2. I'd say the number has increased at least to 25 or 30% when you jump on and play. The reason Ghost became so prevalent in Black Ops and such an obstacle to good players was because there was no counter for it. They removed stopping power, it left the damage levels the same, so it takes longer to kill people in Black Ops, blah blah blah, combined it with bad hit detection, lag issues. Part of the reason why I didn't like the game a lot at first, because it's just kind of clunky. Alright, I'm getting off my point here. There was no counter to using Assassin, or Ghost, excuse me, in this game. You had to give up, sure, Scavenger or Hardline or Flak Jacket or whatever, but I mean, that's okay. I mean, those are attractive perks as well, but it's not that big a deal. It is a lot more valuable to gain the advantage to not be targeted by kill streaks and not show up on a UAV than to use those things. And since you weren't losing anything in the speed at which you were going to kill somebody, there was really no reason not to use it. And that's where I think they went wrong, and that's what I think the problem with the perk is in this game. I think it's really the only problem with the perk in this game, because otherwise I understand why the perk is in the game. It's a valuable tool to have so that people don't get overwhelmed, especially by the air support. I don't think that you should be completely immune and you shouldn't be able to not be targeted by kill support. I think there should be some other soft counter built in there so you're not just a god and nothing can touch you in the air. But the immunity to the UAV, it makes people so angry, but it makes sense. You get a UAV at 3 kills in any Call of Duty game. You get it at 2 kills with Hardline. You get the right to see everybody on the map and where they're going for 3 kills. That is not hard. Every single person that plays this game has the capability of getting a UAV without too much difficulty. So I think it's a perfectly reasonable counter when you have stopping power. The thing that worries me the most in Modern Warfare 3 is we're going to get an Assassin perk. They split up the Assassin and Blind Eye so that Blind Eye makes you immune to kill streaks. So that's a separate perk now. That's good. But they've increased the efficacy of Assassin by making you immune to counter UAV and EMP. And counter UAV is one of the primary counters to Ghost or Cold-Blooded users. And I think that is a hugely flawed game design decision, and I'm a little bit worried about it. If you guys want to, I can talk a little bit more in depth about that perk and other Modern Warfare 3 perks in the coming weeks. Thanks.